Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Killen. Today I'm going to be looking at composing the DXP solution using Sitecore's new products, Order Cloud, Send, and Personalize. If you've not had an opportunity to look at any of these tools yet, hopefully this session will provide enough information for you to get started easily and quickly. And I apologize profusely for all the QR codes that are throughout this session. They'll provide some more information on the actual topics. So, as Sitecore started acquiring all these different platforms, I was thinking to myself, how are these going to impact our clients? And as an implementer, what is it I'm going to have to learn about these products so I understand what these platforms are capable of to meet our clients' requirements. Without feeling too overwhelmed, I started looking at Order Cloud. I was amazed at how quickly I could sign up for an account on Order Cloud, create a marketplace, populate that with some data, and then use the console to query the data. And then as I was poking around with Order Cloud, I discovered the GitHub repo, which provides lots of developer tools. One tool stood out to me in particular, and that was the Order Cloud Head Start Next.js. There was a lot of hype after Symposium about Next.js and Vercel, so I was quite intrigued about this. So I started looking into it. It's a simple buyer application. Through that, I was able to understand how to seed Order Cloud through some scripts and help me understand the data structures much better. Then I was able to spin up a Next.js application. It was my very first Next.js application I got up and running locally. And then I was able to deploy it to Vercel, and I was blown away by the whole CI/CD pipeline that Vercel offered. And if you're interested in more about this, then obviously click that QR code. Then, as I was poking around with Vercel, I discovered the Next.js Commerce Order Cloud application. So this is an open source commerce application, and it also integrates with Order Cloud. Basically what it does, it's a template project within Vercel, and that will clone the Commerce Next.js application to your own GitHub repository, and then deploy it out to Vercel. Then there's a separate integration that you can add for Order Cloud, and basically that walks you through the process of seeding Order Cloud, and then setting up the environment variables that you need as well. And it's a nice little WYSIWYG that takes care of that for you. There's been quite a few articles about this, and Rob has done a very nice video recently on it as well. The problem with Next.js Commerce is it is open source, and they're always making changes to it. Recently, I got a version of it, and there were some issues running it locally, but thankfully, Miguel Mandolo has done a nice article how to navigate those issues and help solve them. After that, I had the opportunity to attend the Sitecore CDB and Personalized Deep Dive training. This gave me a great opportunity to get some hands-on experience, as I'd previously just done the online training. But at least this, I could actually play around with the product, and I learned some real practical tips and tricks, some valid use cases that would help our clients. And then also there was a community. So everyone that went on the deep dive training got access to a community in Slack. And we would help each other answer questions, solve problems, things like that. And a lot of that material has made its way onto Sitecore Stack Exchange, thanks to Sarah. So after the deep dive training, I was really excited. I wanted to integrate the Sitecore Personalize with the Commerce Next.js application that I had running on Vercel. I wasn't a Next.js or React developer, so the easiest way I found was using the Google Tag Manager, as Sitecore CDB and Personalize offers many ways to integrate the direct client script. So I used the Google Tag Manager, import that module, a few lines of code, and create a tag manager, and I was up and running, and my site was personalized. I really liked how the approach to the Google Tag Manager React application, and so I wanted to take the step further to personalize the Next.js commerce site that I had running on Vercel. And so I created a React module, which is a wrapper around the client script, and that's available on NPM today. You can install that, and it initializes the script for you, and it's a really simple process just to get up and running quickly. And check that out. So what the React Sitecore Personalized module does, it injects the personalized direct client script with a simple command, and you pass in your API client key and a few other parameters that are documented. And then this allows you to send events to Sitecore Personalize. So you can, with one line of code, you can send a view event for managing page views, send the add event to when you add products to the cart, send a confirm event to confirm which products are in your cart, send the checkout event when you're ready to check out, and it's tracking the user's behavior throughout their commerce journey. Send payment, send identity event. If the user enters their details, you can capture their username, email address, and track that within Sitecore CDB. And it will then convert them from a guest to an actually identified known user. And then send search event. There's probably a few other events and methods that I haven't got in here, so I'll be extending that over time. So during the training, we learned how to capture the abandoned cart and send an email to users when they abandon the cart. And it struck me, and for that, we were integrating with MailJet. And I was like, hold on a minute, we've got Sitecore Send, why aren't we using that? But the training was more about setting up data connections and not necessarily Sitecore products. So I went off and looked at, okay, how could I actually use Sitecore Send? So I came up with just a scenario. It's very common, every time we land on a site, you get these subscriptions, subscribe to receive offers. So I went with that as a use case. I created a mailing list within Sitecore Send, and then created a data connection to send those details whenever a user submits their details through to Sitecore to Musend. And so there's a few web experiences involved in that, and a trigger as well. So when the user enters the details, a trigger creates a trigger and sends the details off to Send. So this is what the solution looks like. Obviously, you've got Order Cloud that's managing the products and displaying those on the site, and cart information is being tracked as well and being sent back to Order Cloud. Then you've got BoxEver, which is doing the personalization and tracking the user behavior. And then obviously when they submit the subscription, those details are sent through to Musend. So let's do a quick demo. So you can see here's the commerce site. If I hit F12, as I browse around the site, you can see I'm sending the tracking information through to Sitecore Personalize. Each page is being tracked and sent through to Personalize. If I add a product to the cart, you can see I've sent the add event. If I then proceed to checkout, confirming the products that are in my cart, I've sent the confirm event, and then confirm purchase. So I've actually checked out. So if we go and take a look what's in Sitecore Personalize, let me just grab this browser ID. So this is the unique identifier for this visit. I search for BID in the GUID. Well, it should pop up here. Okay, maybe not. So demo gods aren't with me. Well, let me show you what it would look like. Hold on. Oh, let's go in here. In the wrong place. That's better. Okay, so if we click on it, you can see, and I'll click on the user's timeline, and we'll view their session details. So you can see here we browsed the bomber jacket page, the champion jacket, and then we added the champion jacket to our cart. We confirmed the order, and we checked out. So what about the integration with Sitecore Musend, or Sitecore Send, sorry. So if I go back to the site, I have set up an event that will just show on the mask page. Oh, this should show here, hopefully. There we go. So you can obviously set web experiences to appear on certain pages. So maybe there's an offer on these masks, so I'm popping up a display to get the user to subscribe to offers if they're interested. We'll use Jeremy as soon as he's not here. And submit. Okay. So if I go into Sitecore Send, hopefully we should see Jeremy appear in here. Refresh. And there's Jeremy showing up as being subscribed to the mailing list within Sitecore Send. If I then take a look at this guest profile, it's probably no longer available because he's converted to an actual, let's see. Yeah, there it is. So if I look at, we've actually tracked Jeremy now. I've got his email address. If I view the timeline, this web session, we can see he's subscribed to the offer identity, and he's now no longer a guest. He's been identified as Jeremy Davies. So if I go back to my site, I've added some personalization for Jeremy. If I refresh this page, you might see Jeremy pop up somewhere, hopefully. Maybe not. So he should have shown there a little image of Jeremy popping in, but it's not happening for some reason. Let me just check. Experiences. I spelled his name right. Oh, lowercase. Okay. That's where I went wrong. Let me pause that. Okay. And we'll start this experience again. Okay, start it. So if I go back to my site, refresh the page, and there's Jeremy. I've done some personalization for Jeremy. He's able to join us virtually, kind of. So I think that's pretty much the demo. I could show you the code, but I think we're running out of time. Also, I've created some Postman Collections for Moosend. So these are really helpful when you're working for the REST APIs. There's also one I created for BoxEver. These didn't exist well. Moosend use a priori, so I converted that to a Postman collection. Order Cloud, they've got a really good Postman collection and some training information on how to use it. So if you click that QR code for the Order Cloud one, you can import that into your Postman. These are my handles if you want to reach out to me and get some more information on what I've shown you today. And thank you very much. If you've not had an opportunity to donate to the Ukraine Fund, please do. And also, I'd like to thank anyone that's been able to bring some of the supplies that Valtech are going to make to bring to their colleagues in Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Anyone has any question?
Thank you.
Yes, Peter.
So you were saying you were using GTM. Did you just use that to put the script on the page, and then the rest of the events were firing from?
So that was a learning experience for me. I used GTM to put the script on the page, and then I really liked how the GTM made it simple to add Google Tag Manager to a React application. And based off of that, I created my own React module, very similar to the React one, to inject the Sitecore personalized direct client script onto the page. But yeah, if you look at the article, the GTM one, it'll show you how I use the React module within Sitecore Commerce Next.js.
Cool, will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
As always, I just have a plug. If you want to know more about Deep Dive for CDP, those sessions that you went to are recorded and available for free for any developers at Sitecore. And then we also just 2 weeks ago released the business analyst and project manager, basically subject matter expert courses as well.
Brilliant. Thank you.
One more?
You showed the APIs. So is there any events that, like a general event, you showed like send add to cart, send checkout, but like a general one?
There is a custom event. I haven't written a method for that yet, but I will add that to I was realizing that when I was going through the code, and I was like, oh, there's a custom event. I need to include that in the module. Yeah.